Hello. The title of this podcast is Why Forgive? This is inspired from a passage out of the Mayo Clinic Guide to Stress-Free Living book by Dr. Amit Sood. And the passage reads, "You forgive because you wish life's higher meaning, not your hurts, to guide your journey." This really resonated with me. And as I reflect on what has given me the most peace in my life, what has helped me continue to cultivate an open heart, it is forgiving. If my mind or my heart feel like I've been wronged or hurt or slighted. And pretty soon, what I found is there's less to forgive. I don't even think about forgiving someone because it doesn't seem necessary. Not that people aren't behaving a certain way, but I am just really committed to com cultivating and nurturing an open heart and being kind, giving grace. And when you do that, what I found for me is I have fewer instances in which I feel offended. Um, when I do reflect on the times that I have forgiven, it was because um, I was either told that it would be easier if I did that after decades of ignoring it. That wisdom. One of the examples is my stepfather, and I've mentioned this in so many podcasts. But for those who are maybe hearing for this for the first time, with my stepfather, it's a very rocky relationship and one that was filled with a lot of abuse, physical and verbal abuse. And it was a result of, I think, my stepfather suffering from alcoholism and his own, unresolved hurts. And for years, I carried a lot of resentment toward him. And while others may have found it a place in their heart for him, there was no room in my heart for him. And I went to a seminar back in 2007. That was a really important seminar on personal development that helped me let that go. And since then, what I found is that it wasn't shortly thereafter that once I had let that go, a space opened in my heart to where I could create a different kind of shit with him. I mean, we weren't close and we didn't talk, but I did not have any malice in my heart to him. And what was in that space was peace around our relationship and understanding that what happened in the past had already happened, and there was nothing I could do with it about it, and that I wanted to just wish both of us the best. I guess that's the best way to say it. And when something happened 10 years ago in ToBeRe with half the members leaving, I remember that the old Keith would have been resentful, would have thought about all the things that I've done for people to help them in their lives along the way, personal and professional. Uh, I would have really thought that um, it was a lack of gratitude, a lack of on their part appreciation for the contributions that I made to their lives. That anything could make them forget that so easily, throw it away. Um, and I mean, not to say any of that was true, but that would have been my narrative had I not been working on myself with the practice. But having had the practice, that was not at all present for me. What was present for me is that I just wanted to let it go. I mean, more so than even forgiving anyone. I didn't really see what people did as being offensive, as being wrong. Now, was there a part of me that wished people would have stayed connected? Absolutely. Was there a part of me that thought that people should have been judgmental? 100%. But that's not my call. What is my call is the way that I respond to what happened. And how the way that I responded to what happened was to let it go. Maybe that's a form of forgiveness. But what I was guided by was something that was bigger than Keith 1.0, bigger than little Keith, what my mind or my psyche thought should be happening, or any kind of pain that my heart may have been feeling. And what was that? A higher purpose. I really wanted to experience inner peace. I really wanted that. And I knew that if I was going to have the ability, the opportunity to contribute to other people's lives moving forward, that this had to go. Otherwise, if anything looked or resembled the behavior that I thought those people uh, did, then I would have likely created a narrative about this person in front of me in the present moment, which would have really put a limitation on what that relationship could be. But instead, I let that go. And as a result, I had nothing but love and gratitude for those people from the past who supported me. I was able to acknowledge all the ways that they really contribute to my life and ToBeRe. And by also letting that go, by having a measure of forgiveness, I was able to appreciate the person in front of me and not conflate their behavior with what people in the past might have done. I was able to treat them completely different as a unique experience that I was having with them, which is powerful because sometimes when you have you feel like you've been hurt or you think you have, you tend to recall things that have happened to you in your past, like, oh, my ex used to do this, and you collapse that onto the person that you are talking to or in a relationship now. That's unfair to you, to them, and your ex. But if you can forgive and be guided by your higher meaning, that creates a whole new world for you. You're not limited. You can appreciate people. And I've heard people say to me, Keith, I know you have a different relationship with this person, but I don't see him that way. And I just say, well, you're free to see them however you see them. But it's unfortunate that you don't see them and you don't see the humanity in them. They have the same consciousness flowing through them as you do. And so we're all the same. And depending on what the context is, who knows how any of us would respond or react or behave in a certain situation. So when you remember that, it helps you have compassion and it helps you give grace to other people. So I guess the message of this podcast is if there's anyone that you have a close heart to, or something that they've done or something you think they've done, consider not being guided by the hurt that you feel or the narrative, but instead be guided by higher meaning, your higher self. Uh, Let that guide your journey. You will have a more peaceful, more beautiful, more loving journey, and it will help you serve others in a much larger way.